children. Today we are going to, this is English video session for class 10. We are dealing with the textbook First Flight, and the topic which we are dealing is animals, the sixth part, the associated with the lesson 100 Races. The name of the poem is Animals, written by Walt Whitman. The poet Walt Whitman is praising animals for being better than human beings, for possessing all sorts of good qualities that human beings lack or have forgotten. See, calmness, greed, and ability to stay happy, contented, these are the most important qualities which today the human beings lack. This is what our Walt Whitman says, that these things are lacking today. Okay. Walt Whitman has beautifully, what is he bringing? Animals and human beings. He making a contrast between animals and human beings and say that animals are far better than human beings. Okay, animals are generally simple in nature, whereas human beings are generally greedy. What are the qualities that today dominating is greedy, selfish, and complicated? Complicated is they themselves take their life complicated. He is very happy with the easy going of the nature, that the animals are happy. Today, you can't see them having tension or any sort of selfish attitude. Okay, he finds the way the animals live as excellent, and he also wants the human beings to follow them. So his desire is to live among animals, and he thinks that they are contented and serene, being very loyal and good. They are wise, and this is the reason why they never bewail with lots of condition. There is no conditioning in their life. They live their life. They did not weep. They did not for their sin. They do not care to worship even God. They are all satisfied to do whatever they possess, whatever they do not need to possess. They don't bother. They are satisfied with what they have. They respect, including they respect none. They don't have their ancestors. They remain indifferent in their pleasure and pain. They are, how pleasure is there, how pain is there, for them nothing matters. For this very reason, the poet is thinking that many things we have to learn from the animals. Okay, they do not have any falsehood. They don't do drama, falsehood, drama, pretension. If nothing is there, they are free. All types of trivial anxieties, all basic fight, all these jealousy, all these things. Human beings are full of that. But they are still living in a natural. But what about the animals? They are living in a natural way. This is what he is trying to say. Who? Walt Whitman. Actually, Walt Whitman is a major figure in the early American poetry. In an age when all poetry was rhymed and metrical, Whitman made a break with tradition and wrote a revolutionary new kind of poetry, that is free verse. What is a free verse? Is there is no conditioning for your poetry. Anything you write, there should be conditioning. But here you can see that there is no conditioning in his work. Okay, he made a poem which is things which are unconditional. Okay, so that is called free verse. He was a non-conformist in all respects, including his social life. Non-conformist. Now let us consider. A poet tells that he feels animals. The poet tells us that he feels more at home with animals than humans, whom he finds complicated and false. Now let us consider what are the things like complicated and false. He says human beings are complicated, human beings are false. Okay, complicated here is they don't behave the same manner, they change their ways. False is pretentious. They are not truthful. That is called false here. Clear. Animals don't behave like this. Animals behave what they want. They want to be cunning, they remain cunning itself. They don't change for anybody. They are happy with what they are. They don't feel bad. They don't do any sort of what to say hideous things, but to hide and do things in the dark, nothing. Okay, I think I could turn, let's see, I think I could turn and live with animals. They are so placid and self-contained. I stand and look at them long and long. They do not sweat and whine about their condition. They do not lie away in the dark and weep for their sins. They do not make me sick discussing their duty to God. Not one is dissatisfied, not one is demented with their mania of owning things. I have this, I have a bungalow. They don't say all those things. Okay. Now, not one kneels to another, nor to this kind that lived thousands of years ago. Not one is respectable or unhappy over the whole earth. So they show their relations to me and I accept them. They bring me tokens of myself. They evince them plainly in their possession. I wonder where they get those tokens. Did I pass that way huge times ago and negligently drop them? A very beautiful thing that how we human beings should have been, but what is very much lacking in us. What are all our fault? Actually, now human beings are dominated with all sort of negative falseness, and they are highly complicated. He finds that it's better to live with the animals who are frank, who are truthful, who don't do any falsification or pretentious things in the mind. Okay, this is what he is continuously telling about the way in which human beings behave. Okay, the poet is quite impressed by the animals that they do not complain and cry about their conditions like human beings. They eat, they sleep, and they have nothing to worry, and they live peacefully. The animals are pure and they do not pray God for their forgiveness. They don't ask to fulfill their desires like humans. We most of the time what is happening here is business. You do this, I will do that. So there is a business which is happening. Here, animals do not possess any sort of materials like human beings, and they are happy and satisfied without all the worldly items. Animals are freed from their habits of praying to their ancestors also. Here, you have human beings, we have to pray for them. They pray to the ancestors also. But what he says is, the poet says is, not one is respectable. He means that since all of them are equal, there is no question of respect for someone or insult to someone. Where is the question of respect? If there is a question of respect, then insult is also there. Okay. In this way, he thinks that the human beings are complicated. Okay. So if you have a question of respect, then there is someone going to be insulted also. Some, and for some that is going to be insult. So animals have happy, they don't complain, they don't do respect, etc. Okay. The poet also feels that these animals represent human beings in some way. Like this means that animals seem to be virtues, kindness, innocence, which we human beings. The author says that the human beings and animals were similar, like they had virtues and they had innocence. But they are all now lost. These are all lost values. Today, what he says is these values are lost. The poet believes that the humans have dropped these values, what? Virtues and innocence long ago, and they have forgotten them. They have thrown them, and they have embraced new things like being not contented and possess things and be living a life of falsehood. Okay. Yes. Animals are satisfied and they are self-contained. They have better values than those of the humans. This is what makes poet feels he is comfortable with the animals, and he is not so very comfortable with the animals because of this reason only. Okay. Poet Walt Whitman says that he can identify himself better with these animals for their qualities of serenity, calm, composure. Okay. So better he wants to change his companionship from the human beings to the animals. Okay. Many communities in the human beings, they were following, worshipping saints, sages. Even today also it is happening. They lived thousands of years and led an exemplary life of moral values, the image of God and all are worshipped as by generations by human. So here tokens, what is this tokens? Humans and animals have similar basic instincts. Civilization has changed the man, but basic instincts are preserved in animals and they help human beings to reconnect to their true self. So man seeks comfort in the company of the animals. Okay. See, these tokens, all these things, basic instance of goodness is there with both human beings and animals, but towards the journey of their life they have forgotten. Okay. The poet Walt Whitman in his poem Animals is comparing human beings and differentiating them on the basis of characteristics. What are the characteristics? Presumption, I told you, as poet's presumption. Animals are ranked higher. Today, to the poet Walt Whitman, who is in the higher position? Animals. Human beings come down. Animals' reasons are these things. They don't complain. Animals do not complain about the situation and are happier. If we really see, even you can see, just go up out and see the morning walk of the animals that walk during your walk, the animals and the birds, they are really happy. They do not accept nature. That is, human beings, on the other hand, do not accept nature. We complain and we complain, leading to the complaining nature of us only makes us unhappy. That is why in the first line itself he has given complicated and false. According to the poet, animals possess many qualities which human beings don't have. The calmness and lack of greed. One of the most dominating character of the human beings is the greed, ability to stay happy and contented with others. They don't have. Animals never weep for their sins. They do not sweat. They do not keep whining about their condition. They do not make anybody sick at discussing their duty to God. Above all, human beings suffer from the mania of possessing things which animals. I have this, I have that. They keep possessing and they keep boasting about and they're proud, which the animals don't have. This is a very wonderful poem, children. Write the poem and write the summary of the poetry. Okay, children? I stop here. Thank you, children. Bye.